In week 4, we're continuing with Assess Competence in TAE ASS 402A. 1.1. Interpret the assessment plan and confirm organisational, legal and ethical requirements for conducting assessment with relevant people. Now, this is revision because we have covered that in the previous week. So please ignore the PowerPoint slide here that you have on your course sites. Remembering back to week 1 where the policies and procedures are about to change come the 1st of July, where there's been a change to the minimum requirements for the assessor qualification. So we've actually covered that, and I think it's best practice 6 months out just to look to the knowledge information there in week 1, which was stating that the minimum requirements is going to be a TAE 40110 Certificate 4 in Training and Assessment, or its equivalent, and that's something then that gets negotiated with the registered training organisation. So this is close on being redundant. We're going to just ignore that first slide because of the new changes in legislation. 1.2. Assess and interpret relevant benchmarks for assessment and nominated assessment tools to confirm the requirements for evidence to be collected. So we can open the assessment plan. Ooh. And we're going to change that now to Susan, okay? Just leave fake phone numbers. This is the simulated one, that's fine. You would put your name in there. Now, Susan isn't participating in this vet training with her workplace. She's an independent learner, so we're not needing to put the contact details. We're also putting the location of the assessment at Susan's home, Susan's residence. Place of residence is fine. And today's date. So this will probably be occurring on the date of week 5's webcast. So put that in there. And the time of the webcast is usually about 6 o'clock. And just put via webcast there. Oops, my computer is a little bit in need of repair. Yes, and purpose of assessment, establish if competency is achieved after learning. That will usually be the standard one. And this is where we look at the unit of competency. So we're looking at the first 3 weeks. So in the first 3 weeks, all of the questionnaires that we're looking at are going to be the TAE DES 402A, which was using training packages and accredited courses to meet client needs. Then we looked at the next one in the design, 401A. We went, and then in week 3 we looked at TAE ASS, where is it? Plan Assessment Activities, 401B. Okay, so now, these are user-friendly. They are meant to assist you there, so we can adjust this in this case. Now it's a simulated work activity, that's the conditions. So questionnaire was distributed. My V is stuck. via the course sites. Okay, so we'll look at week 5's date, which is going to be Monday the 11th. In this case, you put your webcast date in there. Okay, so if it was a workplace one, this is very similar to what you would see. Permissions to attend worksite have been organised by the candidate or perhaps by the assessor directly. Any occupational health and safety and visitor induction for the assessor has occurred. This is if it was in the workplace. And candidate will have ready all assessment documentation. Now, we're not actually conducting this in the workplace. That's just modelling it for you. And I've left this one in as the template because it is a good guideline for you to be able to write a workplace-based template. So we're just changing it, however, for your own portfolio of evidence, because we've made our case study one, Susan. So assessment instructions to the candidate would be to attend webcast week 5. Otherwise we can't really conduct the assessment, can we? Attend webcast week 5. We might want to ensure access to internet, laptop and Illuminate webcasting. That's good instructions to the candidate. Check audio level of microphone. Okay, because we want to make sure that they run that audio wizard, otherwise we won't be able to understand what the answers and responses are. Okay, the assessment tasks, methods of assessment. So we are collecting the questionnaire. There'll be a practical demonstration as well, and that will be of enabling questions. There is a portfolio electronic file. And there'll be the observation performance checklist that will be there as well. So we're just observing that they can enter the webcast, participate in a breakout room. That they can ask enabling questions for responses from candidate. The other things that we're going to check is that they go through that checklist at the beginning. So as you can see here, that they're able to discuss all of the areas, the 5 points there. Okay, so that they could discuss all 5 areas in the tick boxes with the candidate before assessment. So things to this effect would be quite fine. Now, if you were in a workplace, there might be personal protective equipment, PPE, that might be required. So I've left that in there so you can see a workplace assessment. However, in Susan's case, we'll be able to remove that. So the resources would be access to the internet, not email at this stage. We really want access to course sites. So the way that we access that is via evote.edu.au, and that's when they go into the student login, etc. Actually, no, they will need access to the internet, into the email, to yeah, because we need them to access the email so they can click on the link to the webcast for week 5. So we want this assessment plan, and we want the assessment tools for the weeks 1 to 3, and we've actually stated what that is up here, these ones here. So we'll copy those. Okay. The rest of that looks pretty fine. Try and tidy up the pages there. Okay. That's just standard. The IBSA would have embedded the employability skills into the training package, and through the skills and knowledge section, especially in that training package, you can see then that would have fallen through. So long as you've covered all components of the training package, would then automatically be considered within the assessment plan. So allowable adjustments, as we said, we're just extending this case study of Susan, and we're just saying that Susan has the visual impairment. So to assist Susan with visual impairment, the following adjustments were arranged. All we needed to do was enlarge the screen view, and we have access to these audio wizards to narrate as well. So verbal communication of tasks was confirmed by the assessor via the webcast, which was our mode of providing the assessment. Okay. Actually, it's not called the activity booklet, it's the questionnaire. Okay, so we're saying that for Susan's visual impairment, we just enlarged the questionnaire. We were able to send it to her electronically, and she was able then to perform the function of enlarging it herself. So it's really with distance learners that you would be sending them hard copy material. You'd need to make sure that the font was enlarged, but the beauty of electronic files is that is that your learners and candidates for assessment can actually perform that function themselves, and blow it up to whatever size they require. So there's our assessment plan. We would then do a file save as, and make sure then that you put that into week 4 in your portfolio of evidence. Okay, so that would be great.